Do you have your first Veterans Readiness and Employment meeting coming up? Or as the kids say, VR&E? You getting a little nervous? You a little scared, Marv? Well, you shouldn't be. I will tell you exactly what to expect in that first meeting with your VRC and give you a few pointers that might just help you get approved.
Oh, what a stroke of luck.
Okay, first things first. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit that alert button. If you are interested in more Veterans Readiness and Employment videos, I have a lot of them on how to get approved, how to get different supplies. If you are in the running to try to get approved for Veterans Readiness and Employment, I highly recommend you check those out. But let's get to it. Talking about the first meeting with your VRC. So this is assuming that you've already applied. You've got that either letter in the mail or email. Not sure if they even send physical letters anymore. And now you've got your meeting. So most likely that meeting is online. It can be in person if you request it. Otherwise, the meeting's going to be online. It's going to be through Zoom. If you don't have access to a computer or anything like that, you can always request it in person and they will come to you. You better believe it. But otherwise, as I said, it's going to be online. So first thing, going into it, make sure you are professionally dressed. That is a requirement. Go in there looking good. Also, have your idea picked out on how you want to use the program. You know, what's your plan? If you want to use it for education, what's the degree you want to get into? Go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics and look up some of the jobs that you're interested in and what the future outlook looks like for those jobs. So come in with your plan ready, some research, and be professionally dressed. That right off the top, those are the most important things that you're going to set yourself up for a good meeting. After that, you guys are going to exchange some pleasantries, you know. How's the weather out there? How you been doing? You know, just that stuff. And then after that, the VRC is, going to ask you, okay, what can I do for you today? And this is your time to talk. They're just going to let you talk. It is important to remember that some VRCs, I'm not going to say all, but some out there, depending on what state or city you're in, they may be looking for reasons to disapprove you while you talk. So don't just go and, talk about everything willy-nilly. Be very precise and articulate about what you're saying. Only say things that you know are good for your case and that are going to help you get approved. Don't give them a reason not to approve you, Billy. Okay? Another important thing to know going into this is your approval requirements. So if you're looking to get an employment handicap, you can get either an employment handicap or a serious employment handicap. For that employment handicap, you have to have had your first service-connected disability rating less than 12 years ago. If that is the case, then you can try to get an employment handicap, which is the easier of the two to get. And then if that's not the case, it's over 12 years since your first service-connected disability rating, then you will need a serious employment handicap in order to get approved for this program. And there are requirements and guidelines to each one of those employment handicap and a serious employment handicap and what that actually means. And you can find that in the M28 Charlie, which is a regulation for Veterans Readiness and Employment. I'll link some of those in the description below. So from here, after the VRC gives you the stage, it's your stage, you're up there, you got the clown suit on and you're talking. Now you need to state your case. Talk about why you're eligible. Talk about your experiences. Don't hold back. You need to tell them about the pain you've experiencing, why the job isn't working for you. Maybe you're losing sleep. You can't sleep. your pain is so bad, like you know, it's hard for you to go around with your family, and this job is worsening the pain that you have. Like, really talk to the points, talk to your pain, make sure it's a service-connected disability, right? That the current job or whatever you're experiencing, it's affecting. It has to be a service-connected disability. So talk to that and don't hold anything back unless it's something that's going to get you disapproved. But otherwise, really talk to your points, talk to the problems that you're having. Generally now, most people who apply for Veterans Readiness and Employment are applying for or seeking employment through long-term services track, which is getting a degree. You know, college education, you get a degree, training, and then you can go and get a job in a better career field, one that works for you. That's what 90% of people are going to be looking for, so that's what we're going to cover here. There also are some other tracks you can be approved for, but we're not going to get into that in this video. We're going to cover what the majority is going to see. So there's going to be about 4 different circumstances, 4 different categories of people within that employment through long-term services track. So the first is you're a person with no job and no degree. This is going to be the absolute easiest to get approved. I mean, you don't have a job, you don't have a degree that the VRC can point to and say, oh, well, you've overcome your employment handicap because of your degree. So this one's very easy. All you need to do, articulate the pain, your service-connected disabilities that you have, and why they are either preventing you from getting a job or why you can't find work in any job because you don't have the education, so that's why you're not working. So this one, if you fall into this category, as long as you do the things I've already mentioned, you shouldn't have trouble getting approved here. The second category is no job, but you have a degree. Now here's where it gets a little tricky. Here is where the VRC may try to tell you that you have overcome your vocational impairment through your education. So because you have a degree, you've already overcome your vocational impairment because you have that education. What you need to say is you have not overcome your vocational impairment because you have been applying for jobs for the past 4 to 6 months, let's say, and that's something that you should be doing now, is applying for jobs in a field that you want to be in. So tell them you've been applying for jobs in this XYZ field that you want to be in that will not aggravate your service-connected disabilities, but you haven't gotten any callbacks or any job offers because you don't have the training or education required for that job field. Then you need to say the degree that you currently have is not suitable for you because that degree only gets you a job in XYZ field, and this field aggravates your service-connected disability. So having that degree doesn't really help you because it only gets you a job in a field that aggravates the service-connected disability you have, and then talk to that service-connected disability. What pain is it giving you? How is it affecting your life? Very, very important. You need to articulate vocational impairment and why your degree has not helped you overcome your vocational impairment. That's very important. The third scenario or circumstance will be you have a job but no degree. In this situation, all you need to do is explain why the current job you have is not suitable employment for you, why it's aggravating your service-connected disabilities. So let's say you have a job in construction as a general laborer and you have a bad back. Well, those two are obviously not going to intermingle. That construction job is going to aggravate your back there, Larry. So what you want to do is go to school to get a degree and do construction management, something where you're, lifting, doing less manual things. All you have to do is talk to the training that you need, the job that you want to get, and why your current job doesn't work for you and it aggravates your service-connected disability, but you can't get any other jobs in that field that you want because you don't have the training. There you go. And the last circumstance is you have a job and you have a degree. In this case, this is going to be the hardest to get approved. Not saying that you can't. In fact, when I was first approved, I had both a job and an associate's degree. So it definitely is possible. But what you have to be able to do is how I just mentioned, talk about how your current job is worsening your service-connected disability, and why it's worsening it, why it's affecting your life. And then you also need to be able to talk to the vocational impairment point. So why has your degree not allowed you to overcome your vocational impairment? And that has to be because your degree, whatever it is in, it's in a field that aggravates your service-connected disability. And because that's the case, it's a degree that no longer works for you. You need to find work somewhere else. So you haven't overcome your vocational impairment through that degree because that degree basically means nothing to you because you're back at square one with it. It just keeps you in this circle, this pain circle that never ends, the pain train. So that's important for that last one. You have to be able to articulate and talk to both of those points to explain why the job doesn't work for you and how that degree isn't working for you and why it hasn't allowed you to overcome your vocational impairment. So those are going to be through that long-term services track. Those are going to be the 4 stipulations that are going to cover 99% of people. And like I said, most people are going to be doing the long-term services track here. Now wait, don't go yet. There's one more thing. Don't forget this. If you are disapproved for some reason, maybe your VRC is an a-hole, but if they do disapprove you, they may say, well, you can push this up to an admin review if you want to. Do not do that. Double X marks the spot to not do it. Don't do that. What you need to do is ask your VRC in writing, in an email, and in person that you would like an informal meeting with the supervisor, with their supervisor. So request an informal meeting with their supervisor. And then from there, when that meeting happens, you're going to articulate the exact same things we just talked about that you did with your VRC. And then you're also going to tell them why you think your VRC is ignoring reasons why you should be approved, and that they're ignoring facts that make you approved, that make you eligible for the program. So those are 2 things that you would want to talk about on that informal meeting. But the biggest thing there, stay away from the admin review. The admin review pushes it out of the regional office and the decisions are made elsewhere, and more often than not they're going to take the decision that the counselor made. So it's in your best interest to not take the admin review and to ask for a further meeting with their supervisor. But outside of that, man, it's simple, it's straightforward. You can do this. Just remember, come with a plan ready, come with a little bit of research, and come dressed appropriately. And already right there, you're off to a good start. Good luck.